everyone. This is Luca Mino again with Frank Gregory Ford. This is Global News Update on TLBTV, where we give you complete and backstage and up-to-date info as the developments occurring in our world today. To open up the show, for my part, and I'm sure it's from your heart too, Greg, I want to send out a prayer tonight. And by prayer, I mean any way you know how, no matter what the belief system you come from, since at the base of them all, they're all the same. I want to offer this show tonight to a special friend in another country that the CIA has destabilized. And it's a special friend who I dedicate this show to. The country of Yugoslavia, a country decimated by government-engineered wars, courtesy, of course, of the Bush crime family. Right, Greg?
Absolutely.
Greg, we must be doing something right, okay? Since Monday at 3 p.m., we had 1,800 hits on our last show. And yesterday's show aired. And when I tallied it, it was 3 hours after that, we had 800 hits. So we're doing something right. And I just want to dive in with this. You had something very specific you wanted to talk about today, and it was cyber attacks, right?
Oh, yeah, well, actually, several things.
Okay.
I think I already bored your listeners by telling them about my court case with the Supreme Court, and which amounted to, what was it? I brought the case about myself being kidnapped, tortured, renditioned, and then that was at a covert theater of operations, Iraq. And then the subsequent smearing that the CIA did on me to attempt me to keep me from talking or take any kind of credibility. And so I took it to the Supreme Court, and the word was something like this, is that they took one look and said, we don't want to go where this is going.
Exactly.
Pardon me, this is the Supreme Court of the United States. They don't want to go where they think this is going?
Nope.
Oh, well, I did find out where they want to go. You know, what was it? They tossed my case aside for, what was it? A baker who didn't want to bake a cake for a gay couple's wedding. And he felt his religious rights had been impinged upon. They threw my case out for that case. Okay. So, yeah, and anyway, by the way, we are coming back on that one. I've got 3 cases around the world. I never say no. That's what the American people have definitely forgotten, is how to say, I don't quit, I don't stop. They're taking these namby-pamby, panty-waist responses by our government that is determined to make money off of everyone. That's all we do. Okay. By the way, I'm changing my name on my book from, what is it? 2 Degrees West of Treason. Okay. I'm going to change it to Making War for Fun and Profit. All right.
Good one.
Good. I think everybody will get the point then.
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyway, yes. Yeah. First of all, before we get to the cyber warfare, let's look at something like this, okay? We have a horrendous opioid addiction epidemic in this country. What do you say to that, Luca?
I wonder who started it, Greg. Can we say that word again? The CIA, right?
The Cocaine Importation Agency.
Oh, yeah, and for those who don't know, all they have to do is just drop off a bunch of crack cocaine in the minority neighborhoods of Chicago, and
Los Angeles,
Cincinnati, some wars are not meant to be won.
Miami, it goes on and on. Has anybody asked the Cocaine Importation Agency why they started this mess? Because if you remember correctly, last week I informed your listeners that Pakistani intelligence had been invited in. ISI,
right?
Pakistan had been invited in to spy on, first of all, the election okay, and all our politicians by intercepting Obama's Blackberries. Okay, every government official got a Blackberry. Well, guess what? Including the House Intelligence Committee got Blackberries. Surprise! The Awan brothers from Pakistan have intercepted, for what, the last 10 years, intercepted all transmissions that our government has made. They're talking about the Russians. Oh, yeah, of course the Russians have. They're, I mean, they're not going to be left out of all this much fun, okay? I mean, with a psychopath like Hillary Clinton on the loose, and Obama, who we can't even figure out what his real name is, let alone his birth date, let alone where he was born, okay? They must look at us like we are the biggest buffoons on the face of the earth. You blame them? I don't. So Pakistani intelligence, okay, realized that they weren't getting paid enough, so they cut a deal with Hillary Clinton, okay? And Hillary Clinton, who is the top spokesman for the CIA, by the way, okay, she said, sure, since Pakistan produces 98% of the world's heroin, go ahead, come on in, turn it loose, okay? Since I didn't win the election, I'm going to spoil everyone, and I'm going to create a drug epidemic like I did, and like the agency did, and like the Bush family did, bringing in cocaine, okay, from Colombia to Miami to Mina Airport. All right. So let's just go ahead and give Hillary Clinton a little phone call. Everybody should give Hillary Clinton a phone call and say, did you cause this heroin epidemic, Hillary? Why did you do that? Did you get your 10% cut? Okay. I think so. Blame Hillary Clinton, blame the CIA. All right. Okay. And if we can get the CIA to tell the truth on anything like this, forget the deniability issue, okay? And yes, you're right. Destabilization, by the way, you know what that means? Destabilization, that your listeners know? That means they've torn the country apart, all right? For whatever reason, the agency decided to do what's called, and it's extremely illegal on the international theater, pre-planned aggression. Pre-planned aggression means destabilization, and that means tearing the country to pieces. Doesn't matter who dies, who lives, who cares, all right? It's what they do, along with the 10 wars that they have running on the ground right now, all right?
Yeah.
So yes, what do you think of this cyber warfare?
Well, I can't wait for you to get into this, because this is another Bill Clinton / Hillary Clinton issue.
He passed the research telemetry, digital telemetry on those ICBMs. He passed it to the Chinese, okay? The Chinese have been overlooked completely in all of this, okay? And he didn't have to pass it very far because the Chinese just simply made a donation to his second presidential campaign. So that means, guess what? The allies of North Korea are who? China. Okay. And what is North Korea doing now? They are using the telemetry, that research telemetry, to make advances and fine-tune adjustments to their nuclear delivery system. All right, on their missiles. And I just heard this morning, hey, they don't even have to do that. They can, load this stuff onto a Scud missile, put it on a freighter, and just put it within 200 miles of U.S. shores and fire it. Okay? How tough is that? That's what I said all along. And if you remember, that's what we saw a year and a half ago, arcing through the sky, through the stratosphere, okay, and crashing into the water 18.5 miles offshore in Southern California. What, 15,000 people saw it on the beach? Okay. And of course, what did the government say? Oh, it was an atmospheric anomaly.
Right.
Guess what, folks? They have already got it. Okay. Thanks to Bill Clinton Yes, they already have what they need to launch a major attack on the United States. Okay, they can do it any time. All right. You know how the American government keeps track of time. They say, oh, they won't have a bomb delivery system in 10 years. That means within 8 months they're going to have a bomb delivery system. Okay, so if any of your listeners want to find out the truth, just have them give you a call. Okay, and if you don't know, Luca, have them give me a call. Okay, the crypto warfare going on. Okay, cyber text warfare. All right, great. Well, let me see. I want everyone, okay, if you have access to another computer, just write this name down. Computer security devices, okay? I wanted that name as simple as I possibly can make it. Go to the patent office and look it up. CSD, computer security devices, okay? You will see the only unbroken system for cyber warfare in the entire patent office. And I want all your listeners to look at the name. Okay, there's actually two names. One, my former commanding officer in military intelligence, and my name. I'm listed as the inventor. All right. So please go look it up if you have the time, and you'll find out how to stop cyber warfare, okay, from happening. It won't stop it, of course, because the human mind always keeps working, okay, especially if you challenge it. All right. So if you want to find out how to save your butts, okay, how to keep Romanian intelligence, okay, out of your tax returns, okay, go look it up, all right? And then you can ask the government why they never implemented it, okay? So, that's one thing I'd like to say. Next thing, I've worked with the Russians. I've worked with the Ukrainians. I mean, just almost as close as you and I are sitting here talking, Luca. And the thing is, nobody's fool. If you think that they're dumb people, or they're, or they're 100 years behind at times because of living in the workers' paradise, I've got news for you, folks. Okay, your government has been feeding you a line since World War II. Okay, about the Russians. Yes, the Ukrainians. Yes, they are every bit as smart, if not smarter.
Right.
Okay.
I was just going to say that.
Remember that they didn't have the curse of the Bush family dictating educational programs like we did. Okay. Remember the Leave No Imbecile Behind program? Mm-hmm. Okay. That came in about the same time that George implemented the Leave No Billionaire Behind program. All right. My sister, who was a professor in a Southern California university, got so fed up with the Leave No Child Behind program, she couldn't get a decently written essay out of her class because they never learned how to write under the Leave No Child Behind program. By the way, its real purpose was to register all high school and college folks for the draft. That's what it did. Okay, it didn't teach you anything. It taught you how to sacrifice your body for the Bush family profits. All right. So, yes, the Russians, very smart, and they have been studying Americans forever. They know Americans better than we know America. Okay, that sounds funny, but yes, they do. In their training areas for their intelligence agents, they have entire cities that are nothing but American cities on U.S. soil. All right? They look like American cities. They're full of Americans, I think, okay? And guess what? That's where they get their training, including the state-of-the-art computer systems and high-tech systems that were smuggled to the Soviet Union through an East German front that supplied all their high technology from our high-tech firms, busy selling them, okay? Selling them parts and components, okay? That's how they know how to defeat our systems, okay? They took our systems, which we gladly sold them, okay, when there were embargoes, all right? And they took them, worked with them, developed them, and made them better, okay? And they educated a whole 2 or 3 generations of very smart people. That's what Vladimir Putin knows, okay? So they don't have to hack into our system. Hey, they own our system already. I've already said it all along. A year and a half ago on the Chuck Otelli show, I put the warning out about cyber warfare, stating, look, they don't need any wild-eyed crazies running around, okay, telling everybody that they're Al-Qaeda. You know, remember Al-Qaeda, folks? Okay, it's only been, what, a year since we last heard about Al-Qaeda and ISIS? All right, real simple. We armed, we intelligenced, we taught, we transported, we armed, we logistics, we paid, yeah, okay, we formulated, you know, we legally provided defense for Al-Qaeda and ISIS, okay? Please don't believe me, okay? Look it up yourself, check out the 9/11 World Trade Center attack, all right? You will find 19 CIA trained agents, okay, that were trained in Pinell Park, Arizona, okay? That's what got us to this point. So yes, the Russians, and by the way, the Russians have already offered satellite imagery of what happened on 9/11. Satellite imagery. You can't fake that one. Sorry, you can't fake it. No matter what the agency says, you can't fake it, okay? And by the way, I'm very happy with the agency. They came out, what, a few hours ago, Luca, and stated that, yes, hey, somebody's been using our weapons of mass destruction and nerve gas in Syria again.
Right. And this is something I really want to stress, okay? This is something I really want to stress because Greg had told us this, I think it was Tuesday night after our show. He said, oh, by the way, this is what's going to happen. Right now, they're loading P400 canisters of VX gas on planes, and they're going to be dropping them on civilians in Syria. He said, just for your information. And no later than the next day, when our show came out, sure enough, that's what they came out with. That was flooded on the media. That Assad is dropping chemical weapons on his own people. We have to intervene. We have to stop this. Quote, Assad is going to pay dearly from our military.
Right. Well, let me correct something. It's actually Russian fighter bombers that those were being loaded onto. Okay. And right, but all those systems were all upgraded when they were in Iraq. When we sent those systems to Iraq, the Bush family paid for that entire set of weapons. Okay, through the Carlyle Group. The Carlyle Group sold Iraq those weapons, and those weapons were shipped to Syria. And I debriefed the FBI, such as they are, okay, the FBI and James Comey on where those weapons were deposited when they were shipped on lowboy transports out of Iraq into Syria, okay? I gave them 8-digit coordinates where those weapons were stored. I don't know if they're there now, but the thing is those weapons, yes, are still around, and they're being dropped on a regular basis, okay? They're being used on a regular basis, but you'll never hear our news reporting, modern day news reporting, CNN, BBC, or anybody else say that those are American weapons. Yes, folks, you can be proud of your government. They made weapons of mass destruction to make the Bush family a massive, an ungodly amount of money, okay? They're the first trillionaires in America, all right? And they made it making weapons of mass destruction and nerve gas. You ever hear of Cyclone B? Israel, okay? Cyclone B, guess what? This is a 3rd generation Cyclone B weapon. Okay, so, but in the meantime, yes, we're having cyber warfare. We don't have enough wherewithal to stop the cyber warfare right now, okay? And you can bet if Vladimir Putin decided to make my chimpanzee Bonzo, okay, the president of America, he could do it. All right. The Russians got their first practice on how to cyber warfare a whole country on Estonia, the country of Estonia. Any problems with that, folks? Give Estonia a call right now and ask them what they think of Russia's cyber warfare capabilities. Yes, rather distinctive, okay? And then for good measure, before they went into Ukraine and started giving Ukraine a hard time, and I take that to real personal offense, because I really love the Ukraine and the Ukrainians. And yes, they actually practice whole cyber warfare episodes that lasted months and months. And this is the most important issue. They attacked the electrical grid. There was a four-way attack on their electrical grid in Ukraine. All right. Believe me, I think it's already happened here. Remember the Northeast power outage? Okay, I think that was a test run, a test bed, to be quite honest, okay? Yes, they can do that. My pet Bonzo, the chimpanzee, can be very easily the next president of the United States. There's nothing stopping him, all right? So with that in mind, please understand, okay? Yes, we do the same thing to other countries. No, of course, all right. I mean, only somebody like the Bush family and the CIA can be this sanctimonious about it, okay? But believe me, I gave them the warnings. I gave our country one of the best anti-cyber defenses out there, all right? And they just sat on their hands and rotated on their thumbs, okay?
Right.
That's what our country has done. That's why the Chinese virtually know who all the taxpayers are in this country by your Social Security, all right? My friend Russ Tice notified NSA that they had a Chinese spy ring practicing cyber warfare from inside the NSA. You know what happened? Nothing to the Chinese, okay? Russ Tice was he was forced to see a psychiatrist that hour, and then he was shipped out of the NSA. He came back to his office, and all his stuff was packed up in a box and sitting out on the street, okay? That's how serious our country takes hacking. Do you know why a lot of organized crime is now leaving the drug industry behind? It's because they've hacked into the IRS, and they get billions of dollars just for a little bit of computer work, all right? And they ship it to places like Romania and Latvia, okay? They make a load more money than they could make being organized criminals, okay? They just jump on their computers, hack into our systems, which they do very easily as breathing, and they make lots of money. So yes, of course, Vladimir Putin made Donald Trump the president of the United States, because he didn't want the CIA operative, all right, the psychopath lying thief that she is, he didn't want her in. She'd probably burned him on a couple of deals, like radioactivity sales, radioisotope sales, okay? All right, so that's what's going on. You want to know, folks, just ask me what's going on. I'll tell you the truth, okay? You'll never get the truth out of our government. All they can do is basically charge you more taxes. In this tax rollback that Donald Trump is offering, have you seen a penny of middle class taxes offered in a rollback? No. Have you this health program? What are they going to do? They're going to make sure that the oligarchies of the health industry make more money. Okay, I mean, have you heard him suggest my idea about making sure that all the people of America get the same health care program that our elected politicians get? Oh no, I don't think so. All right, so there it is, folks. In a couple of years, when we're totally flat on our back, remember, hey, you can vote for me. I'm thinking about hacking into our computer system, our vaunted firewall protected computer system. And I'm going to put my name in, and I'm going to run for president, okay? And guess what? I can almost guarantee that the Electoral College will elect me, Frank Gregory Ford, Dr. Ford, the humble Dr. Ford, all right, as the representative of the Bull Moose Party, okay, all right, and I can guarantee you that I'll leave even less of a trail, in our computer high-tech evidence, okay, that I was ever there, all right? So just remember that. If you want to find out what's going on, you better call me, okay? And call you, Luca. And that's what I have to say on this, okay?
Okay, well, it's about time that we give you a little bit of credit here, Greg. I want people to understand, okay? Greg predicted the London attack, okay? He predicted several false flags. And I want to address this in the time that I have to speak. I even wrote this down because it's really important. I can't screw up this, what would you call it? This awakening for people, because people really have to know this. So bear with me.
Epiphany, I think they call that, an epiphany.
Okay, only a handful of people in the world know these things like Greg does, because they're in the field, as he calls it. That's their area of expertise, okay? They know these things. They're very good at predicting the events and the scenarios simply because this is what they do. And for all of us out there that need a little clarification, I'm giving you a screenshot of one of David Icke's best shows, and I'm inserting the name of it on YouTube because it's so important. I want people to watch this, and in the video, David Icke explains it this way. He says, quote, "If you are deep enough into this web, you can start to access the projected future of what this conspiracy it really is. It's that simple. The idea is to alert the people of what the future holds so we can head that future off. People that we know really well, like George Orwell and Aldous Huxley, 1984 and Brave New World, they're perfect examples because they both had prior knowledge to the projected agenda. They even knew each other and they went to the same schools. They were part of the same society that's called the Fabian Society. They had inner knowledge of the agenda and where it was heading. And now we're living 1984. Another example really quick, Greg, you said that you were briefed on 9/11 14 months before it happened, right? That's all.
Right.
It's all in the script. They write the problem. They know our reactions, so they write out the reaction as well. And then they also write out the solution because we're going to be clamoring for them to give us a solution for it. So it's all written out. It's all waiting in the wings. 9/11 was a planned invasion of Iraq. Let's say the Middle East now, since we're talking 7 countries, we decimated after that. And Greg, on a closing note, you said you were in electronic intelligence. You were a specialist and an analyst. Am I right?
Let's see. Yeah, I had 3 specialties in intelligence that I actually went to school near your home, just outside of Boston. Mm-hmm. All right. One was an electronic intelligence. They specialize in intercept and keeping track of the various electronic communications systems. And I was also a trained intelligence analyst.
Right.
And which was probably the most important intelligence program that I was involved, because when I say something, people's lives depend on it. That's why I tried to be very, very, very correct in my summations, okay, about electronic intelligence. Mm-hmm. Electronic intelligence also means when you have high-tech weapons, ranges of those weapons, how those weapons can be jammed, all that, okay, is included. And then I ended up actually, and this was one of the most critical, is I was I was a human intelligence agent trained in Arizona. And that's when the last week is when we had Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer and his group, Able Danger, come to Fort Huachuca and warn us. They gave us a briefing and said, look out across that valley. That's Pinal Air Park. All right. Pinal Air Park is where right now they've got an entire group of of agents, okay, terrorists, quote, terrorist agents, okay, that are training, okay, they are training to know how to fly specialized planes, 767s, Boeings, 757 Boeings, okay, into the World Trade Center and select targets around the Washington, D.C. area, okay?
Mm.
And that's why they're training. You know, they're not going to be a bunch of wild-eyed crazies who want to know how to just to take off and not how to land, okay? They were very capable people that were flying those planes, okay? And it was a Boeing program, and guess who paid for it, okay?
We did.
Yes,
The
that's
American
correct.
tax dollar, the American tax dollar. But this is something we're going to be speaking of on other shows, left and right. But
Absolutely.
this is it for Global News Update. And I thank you again, Greg, for being part of the show and giving us your insight. And this is why 99 point whatever percent of what we're going to say is the truth. It's not opinion, it's truth. Thank you, and I'll let you say your last words, Greg.
Oh, I just want to say, stay glued to your television sets, folks, because you're going to see this massive heroin epidemic. All right, it's happening right now. Your loved ones are dying, and the next thing you know, this country is going to ask you to donate your children, your loved children, okay, because they want to start another war. We've got another war on top of the 10 wars we have now. All right. So the cyber warfare, hey, you think Monty Python is funny? Hey, you just wait till you see the next attack by the cyber terrorists, quote, cyber terrorists, all right? So just hang tight to your seats, folks. And if you have any questions, give Luca a call. You send him a message, you know, in the chat room, okay? If you want to find out something, just ask, all right? Just ask. I'm in a great mood to answer after watching this ridiculous Supreme Court decision concerning my case on rendition and torture. All right? Have a good evening, Luca.
And remember, there's not going to be any wars if there aren't people there to fight them.
That's right. Absolutely correct.
Have a good night.
You too, Luca. Thank you.